Welcome to our series, Moving America Forward. Each week we'll be focusing on America's entrepreneurs as they take us to new roads, new opportunities, new ways to fill the gaps left by today's failing companies. Our series will be looking at that and a lot more. So come with me and watch as the entrepreneurs of our nation move into the future.
And I'm Doug Llewelyn here in our studios in Los Angeles with our guests today who are here from the Tad James Company in Las Vegas. They are the owners of the Tad James Company, which, by the way, specializes in teaching NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, and also timeline therapy, which you're going to hear more about it. It teaches people how to overcome negative emotions. I'd like you to meet them now. Our guests, first on my left, Dr. Adriana James, and on her left, Dr. Tad James. Folks, welcome. Nice to have you here.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Before we begin, a very interesting discussion, I know. I want to point out a little while ago you had a chance to answer some questions from William Shatner. Let's take a brief portion, or a little bit of time now, to look at a brief portion of that and see how it went. Okay?
Okay.
All right, good. Let's watch.
You are certainly in an interesting business, but take a moment to describe to me exactly what you do and who you do it for and how it helps move America forward.
Mr. Shatner, times have changed and many people across the nation are stuck and cannot move forward due to their emotional state. They're mentally frozen. We have developed a program that allows these people to let go of their tension by changing their self-perception and allowing them to take command of their lives. That, Mr. Shatner, is how we are helping to move America forward.
That is really interesting. Now, as I understand it, timeline therapy that you were talking about with Mr. Shatner is actually an offshoot or an advanced form of NLP. Is that right, Tad?
Yes, it's an advanced form of NLP. It allows people to let go of negative emotions like anger, sadness, fear, hurt, and guilt. It also allows people to get rid of limiting decisions like I'm not good enough or I can't have what I want. And thirdly, it gives you a specific program for creating your future the way you want it.
Interesting. Just negative emotions can do that. Is it a heavy process to get rid of these emotions?
It's actually a very easy process.
Really?
It takes all of 20 minutes per emotion. All the emotions from the past. Our favorite metaphor is as follows. Technology has changed. A phone, for instance, now, it's not similar to a phone that was in the 90s.
You couldn't use a phone from the 90s today.
Technology has progressed, so the speed...
Too simple to use, yeah, okay.
The speed with which we're doing things is much faster. Also, the technology of the mind has progressed. We're doing things faster and easier, and so instead of having a long time to wallow in a negative emotion, now we can do it really fast with timeline therapy, and also with NLP.
Well, let's talk a little bit about NLP. You teach that to clients. It's pretty complex to explain, but really, I guess the goal of it is to teach a person to be the best they can possibly be. Is that what it is when it comes right down to it?
It's a study of how we do things in our minds.
Okay.
What do we do up here
right.
when we create success? Basically, that's what NLP is about. And there are lots of ways we approach that.
Now, it was developed, as I understand, back in the 1930s, and you began teaching this, years after that. You became a teacher.
1970s.
1970s, you started. And you do, interestingly, you have offices in Las Vegas, but also in Australia. Do you do this in cities all over Australia?
We do this.
You're very big in this field.
We are in Australia. Actually, many of our American students have fun going to Australia because Sydney is wonderful.
Right.
So we have a schedule of trainings that starts in February and ends up in December. And so it's possible to take the trainings back to back, and it takes all of 6 weeks, or you can take the trainings spread out depending on people's schedule. Yes, we have a wide variety of trainings.
And primarily, who do you teach? Who come to you? Who are the kind of people there? And companies send their staffs to you, right?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So our trainings are open for general population.
Right.
So in general, we have many people taking them for professional reasons. So small business owners, even if they are employees, managers in corporations, to improve communication, to improve teamwork, to improve the area of customer complaints, for instance, less complaints, to improve sales. That's the professional part. But also we have a big percentage of people that take it for personal reasons. We can call that personal development, if you wish.
Right.
and just bettering themselves, unfreezing their minds, finding new strategies, thinking differently, reinventing themselves, if you wish.
In addition to teaching people and clients how to benefit from this, you teach people how to become practitioners of the field, right?
Yes.
A lot of you do that. In fact, there are 4 different categories that you teach. Take me through those categories. What are
The first level is called Practitioner.
Right.
It's the basic level where we lay the foundation. The second level is the advanced level, based on coaching another person one-on-one.
Right.
So we have those 2 levels. Then the third level is the trainer level, where we teach people actually how to train others in NLP.
All right.
So they could teach practitioner and master practitioner. And then the 4th level is master trainer, and they actually train trainers.
And you are the certified master.
We're the certified master trainers.
And you will go to companies and do this.
Oh,
for
yes.
them. How long a process does the whole thing take? You said 6 weeks. Is that from beginning to end?
All the trainings?
Yeah.
Yes.
6 weeks
Yes,
through all the
and
trainings.
during the summer, somebody who is interested in taking them back to back could take them, practitioner, master practitioner, trainer, and they get certified as a trainer of Neuro-Linguistic Programming.
Let's talk about folks who aren't going to be teachers of it, but who take this to develop themselves. What are the results? How does it impact them? Success stories.
Clearer thinking, first of all, clearer thinking. Improved business relationships. Let me tell you a story about a guy from Middlesbrough, England named Gordon Stiles. He hired us to come in and do a 2-day training. Their closing ratio was 20%. By the time we got done, the closing ratio was virtually 100%. And they made a £6 million sale.
20 million pounds.
Sorry, 20 million pound sale.
Wow. I mean, that's huge.
Within 6 months after we did the training. Needless to say, Gordon was very happy.
Now, is that pretty typical? I mean,
Yes.
it really, that was him individually, or that was his company?
No, that was his company.
The whole team.
Right.
Do you find this pretty much the kind of reaction that most people
When we
experience?
work in corporations, or do you
them?
mean in a training?
Yeah.
In a training, everybody has a certain degree of success.
Right.
But it depends also how much people implement what they learn. So we offer them lifetime support, so they can call the office after the trainings anytime they have a question. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to implement what I learned here. And we offer lifetime support.
How often do you hear lifetime support?
Almost never.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
We do, because one of our mottos in the company is that our success is measured in our graduate success.
Obviously. You know, I want to point out that your story is rather remarkable. You began life as almost a child prodigy on the violin.
Correct.
And for the first 32 years of your life, that was your life.
That was my life.
And you rose to the point of being a concert master in symphony orchestras. It's like first violin, you're right next to the conductor, right? I mean,
That's true.
You achieved almost everything you possibly could as a violinist.
At that point, yes, I did. And people ask me all the time, how could you stop doing that? And my answer is like this: have you ever done something to completion? Something when you've done completed everything you wanted to
Everything you possibly could do.
You've done.
Okay.
And the funny part is that how I started my life in NLP, I met this lady, and I didn't know at the time that she was one of Ted's graduates. And I'm talking to her, and I tell her all the time how unhappy I am about this, about that. This thing doesn't go well, the other thing doesn't go well, and I knew very well what I didn't want to do anymore in my life. I was so clear about that. But then she asked me one single question: what do you want instead? And my mouth opened, and I couldn't say a word. I realized that I didn't know. I was very clear about what I didn't want, so I was looking always toward the past. Now, how could I have possibly created something positive in my future if I'm looking all the time about what I don't want anymore? And then I got it. I really realized that I need to learn something else, so that got me to NLP.
So you actually went to learn about it, and you really got hooked, didn't you?
I got hooked, totally hooked.
I mean, it changed your life, totally.
Totally transformed, because it transformed my career. I transformed my career.
And you ended up marrying your teacher.
I did.
That's pretty remarkable, to say the least. Let me ask you about the timeline therapy that you developed. How did that come about?
Well, I was looking for a way to assist a client to let go of negative emotions.
Right.
Because I figured negative emotions were problematical. I mean, look at business management, for example. How often does anger get in the way of your performance? Probably on a regular basis. And I was working with that, and I worked with a timeline, which everyone has inside them, and I discovered that we could let go of anger. That was the first thing that I discovered, was that you could let go of anger easily and effortlessly.
And the impact of that is really, it has a huge impact.
Well, it has a huge impact on a person. Imagine letting go of anger forever.
Sure.
All the stuff in the past that used to really get you going, now it's gone. So there's no more jabs.
Yeah. Well, obviously, it has had a huge impact on the students who have studied this with you. I know that. I also want to get into the fact that you also teach hypnosis.
We do.
What's the benefit of that?
We teach four certifications. One is in NLP, the second one is in timeline therapy, as you mentioned.
Right.
The third one is in hypnosis, and the fourth one is NLP Coaching, which is offshoot, again, for NLP, but designed for business coaching or even personal coaching.
Right.
Yeah. So hypnosis links very much with NLP because it assists people who are, for instance, think of business. Business is pretty stressful. You are working 7 days a week. You are married to your business if you are a small business owner. It's like you're having permanently a needy child, stuck to your hip. That's your business. You wake up at 3 a.m., you come up with an idea, you're working. So it could be pretty stressful. So we're teaching hypnosis for the purpose of teaching people how to get into a state of relaxation, how to achieve trance, for quieting down the mind, for de-stressing, for being able to take a breath, and quieting all that noise that's up here all the time. So that helps tremendously.
So it all does work in concert with NLP. And also getting rid of anger and things like timeline therapy.
It all folds in together like a nice loaf of bread.
Obviously it does. Well, listen, it's been delightful to hear about this, and as I pointed out, you will go to corporations, you'll go anywhere to teach clients this,
We
right?
do. Yes,
It's
correct.
Absolutely.
a remarkable story. Thank you so much for being with us. This is amazing.
Doug, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ted. Now it's my honor to present this prestigious award to Dr. Adriana James and Dr. Ted James, the owners of the Tad James Company in Las Vegas, for the outstanding work their firm is doing to help keep moving America forward. Folks,
Thank you,
congratulations.
Doug. Thank you very much. And
Thank
indeed, we couldn't do it without the people we work with, both in Australia and in the United States. We have a fabulous team of people. We couldn't do it without our graduates and our students, and we couldn't do it without you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much.
That's it for another edition of Moving America Forward. I'm Bert Tenzer. Join us again as we continue to bring you the entrepreneurs who move America forward.
I'm William Shatner, and for all of us at Moving America Forward, thanks for watching.